Hi everyone, I'm Mark and this is the Lenovo Slim Pro 9i. This is so close to being the perfect laptop for creators, but there's one thing that's holding it back. This is my review. For disclosure, this Slim Pro 9i was provided by Lenovo for review. When I'm done with my review, it goes back to Lenovo. Starting with the design, I love the rounded edges all over, very different from the other Lenovo ThinkPad laptops that I review, which have sharp edges. I also like the metallic gray color of this laptop, which is less prone to fingerprints than most black laptops. It's not lightweight though. For a 14.5-inch laptop, definitely has some heft to it. I also like the camera bar on top of the display. This makes it so much easier to open the laptop single-handedly, and you can open this lid almost flat, not 180 degrees, maybe more like 170 degrees. Speaking of the camera bar, I think this is the highest resolution built-in webcam that I've used. It's a 1440p camera. Most laptops have 1080p right now, and this is a step above that. Also much higher resolution than the recent Dell XPS laptop webcams that still have 720p cameras. There are additional software options for the camera as well, like fixing eye contact to make it look like you're looking directly at the camera during video meetings, and background blur as well as light enhancements. I do feel that Google Meets does a better job at blurring and enhancing light during calls compared to the Lenovo software, but the eye contact fix is a nice feature. The display is a 14.5-inch 3K resolution at 16:10 aspect ratio. It also has 165Hz refresh rate, making everything look so much smoother than the standard laptops with just 60Hz display. It sounds good on paper, but there's one thing about it that's not so great. I'll explain later in this video. The Slim Pro 9i has several ports for connectivity. The left side has an HDMI port, USB-C 3.2, Thunderbolt 4, and a full SD card reader, which is great for video editors. A little disappointing that this laptop only has one Thunderbolt 4 port. The other side has two USB-A ports, audio jack, power button, and an electronic camera switch to disable the webcam. If it was up to me, I'd replace the two USB-A ports with USB-C. The keyboard is great. I don't think I've used a Lenovo laptop with a bad keyboard either. Key travel, spacing, the layout, no complaints there. Can easily create documents in an office environment. I'm even a fan of the function keys chosen here on top of the keyboard, like the settings shortcut, lock button, clipboard, and screenshot. The touchpad is spacious and very responsive to Windows gestures. One thing I'm not liking though is the right side sounds a little hollow compared to the taps on the left side of the touchpad, which sounds solid. Not sure if that's a widespread issue for this specific laptop or just my specific review unit. The left and right sides of the keyboard have two of the four speakers on this laptop. The other two are at the bottom. You can hear and feel the bass, and the sound is loud enough to fill the room. I'm not an audiophile, but these are some of the best speakers I've heard on a laptop. You can use the Lenovo Vantage app to adjust the sound as well, letting you optimize them for music, movies, gaming, or voice, but I just leave this on auto. It works. When it comes to specifications, it has a 13th gen Intel Core i7-13705H processor, NVIDIA GeForce RTX 4050 laptop GPU, 32 gigs of RAM, and 1 terabyte storage. The Slim Pro 9i comes with Windows 11 Home. Everyday tasks run smooth. I work in marketing, so I do a lot of emails on Outlook and edit documents on Word or Google Docs, look at multiple tabs of spreadsheets throughout the day, and when I clock out of my day job, I consider myself as a creator. I love making videos and Instagram and YouTube, and editing on this laptop. Everything is surprisingly smooth. I use Adobe Premiere Pro and edit videos shot on a Sony camera, recording 4K 10-bit log footage, and it runs smoothly. Another great feature on this laptop can also be found within the Vantage app. Under the advanced settings, there's a section called X Power. If you turn it on, the Slim Pro 9i enables overclocking the graphics card, which helps speed up the workflow of graphic design, video editing, and 3D rendering. I usually turn this on before I start any creative work or even some light gaming. Now, I do prefer real hands-on experience compared to benchmark numbers, but I know that might be important for some others, so ran some benchmarks which you can see on the screen. No complaints about performance here. Everything works smoothly whether I'm at the office or at my desk, heads down doing some creative work. So this is not a gaming laptop, so don't expect to do much gaming here. When I do have some free time, I'm able to play EA FC24, both on single player and multiplayer at about 1080p settings in medium quality. I do notice some drop in frames, so yeah, this is not a gaming laptop, but you can play some games if you need to. Another interesting feature worth mentioning is intelligent sensing. This laptop can sense whether you're in front of it, so depending on your preference, you can set it to automatically lock when you step away or automatically wake when you sit in front of the laptop. Neat feature, but I personally turned off the setting to auto lock when stepping away since I prefer to do that manually, but I've enabled auto wake. It's one less action for me to wake up the laptop. There's also zero-touch video playback, which will pause videos when you are leaving the computer and resume the video when you are back, but I think that's a little gimmicky. I haven't turned this on. All right, battery life. I see about 5 hours with my usage. Not great, but not too bad either. On a positive note, the power adapter isn't large, so it's easy to pack in a bag with the laptop. Not too much of a bother when going to the office or coffee shop. When I'm at work, I don't hear any fans. However, when I'm about to edit videos or maybe play a game, I go into the Vantage app and enable X-Power for GPU overclocking for maximum performance. And that's when I hear the fans go on. I'm wearing headphones, so they don't bother me, but with all other everyday use, don't really hear the fans. So you can get the Lenovo Slim Pro 9i for $17.99 as of posting this video, but there are usually deals, so check the link in the description below for the latest pricing. All right, so this laptop is portable, excellent keyboard and speakers, great for office and creative work, and the 165Hz refresh rate on the monitor matches well with the processor and GPU performance. But like I said, in the beginning of this review, there's one thing that's holding me back from absolutely loving this laptop. The white color on this monitor is a little warm. Everything else looks fine, but when I'm on web pages or documents, they appear slightly yellow to my eyes. I've adjusted the color settings to default sRGB or Adobe RGB, but the display still seems slightly warm. I think this can be fixed with a display color calibration tool, but I shouldn't need to do that. But maybe this is an issue just affecting my specific model, because when I looked at other reviews, no one else mentioned the yellow tint. If you go ahead and buy this laptop, I'd suggest checking that monitor right away if you have the yellow tint. If your device is not affected, then I think you have one of the best, if not the best laptop for content creators right now. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm Mark. Thanks for watching.